Turns out, Donald, when you're a star, you actually can't just kiss and not even wait. You can't just do anything. Grab him by the, you know the rest. On Tuesday, a New York jury found Donald Trump liable for sexually abusing writer E. Jean Carroll in a Manhattan department store in the 1990s, awarding her $5 million in damages for her battery and defamation claims. This morning, we got to hear from E. Jean Carroll herself, freshly vindicated, and who accomplished no small feat in holding a wealthy Republican man accountable.
I was born in the silent generation. We put our chins up and we went right ahead with a smile on our face. I have since learned we cannot stay silent. We did away with the perfect victim concept. The perfect victim always screams. She always goes to the police. She always writes the date in her diary. She always folds up and is a sad person. We smashed that concept. I'm overwhelmed with joy and happiness and delight for the women in this country.
Of course, many Republicans rushed to Trump's defense, shrugging off the verdict and normalizing sexual assault. Witch hunt, they crowed. Actually, let me just...
So what's your reaction to President Trump being found liable in the E. Jean Carroll case?
I think the New York legal system's off the rails when it comes to Donald Trump.
What's happening in some of these courtrooms in Manhattan, I don't even know. I'm not going to get into it.
It's a jury of his peers finding him.
Come on, man, serious? Don't say that stuff to me. That might work for somebody else. That definitely don't work for me. Jury of my peers, yeah, whatever. What else you got?
I mean, that's pretty much it. This is a sexual abuse conviction, basically.
It's an allegation from, what, 25 years ago?
How mad they get when women win. Stay mad. Joining me now is Katie Phang, trial attorney and host of The Katie Phang Show, and Tara Setmeyer, senior advisor for the Lincoln Project and former Republican communications director. Katie, I'm going to go to you first because you are the litigator of these kinds of cases. They mad, and they really need to stay mad.
But how casual you hear the Republicans about the judicial system. They want justice when they think there's something going on with Hunter Biden, right? They want the DOJ when it's being weaponized and it's being politicized to be able to pursue the people that they want to be the targets. But when it works, when a jury of Donald Trump's peers, 6 men, 3 women, one of the jurors being a man who listens to a far-right, right-wing podcaster, right, still found Donald Trump liable for sexual abuse and defamation. It was a unanimous verdict. That was always my fear. Could they actually get it across the finish line with all 9? And E. Jean Carroll's team did it. It was no small feat. But it's the hypocrisy. And the judicial system is supposed to be justice for all. Right. Lady Justice is supposed to be blind, but only when it fits the narrative you want. And in this instance, they're all bitter and mad.
They're all mad.
They're all mad because it worked, and it worked the way it was supposed to.
You know, Tara, maybe Byron Donalds needs to spend a little bit of time feeling badly for the people, the black people in Florida who his favorite governor arrested for voting. He ain't mad about that. He has no problem with that, but he's got to defend the man with the golden toilets to the death. Let me play for you what a former employee of Donald Trump's had to say. This is Stephanie Grisham. She was talking about Donald Trump's conduct, not in the 90s with E. Jean Carroll, his conduct in the White House. Take a listen.
He one time had one of my other deputies bring her back so that they could look at her ass, is what he said to him. I did everything I could to keep her off of trips, actually, and to stay with her if she was with him alone, because I was really nervous about what could happen.
So he didn't even stop sexually harassing when he became president, and yet they're like, he's the victim. Your thoughts?
Why would he stop? He told us in the Access Hollywood tape that they let you do it when you're a star. Right? When I see beautiful, I just kiss them. And he got elected president of the United States. I say that that's actually a bigger reflection on us as a society and on people who voted for him and continue to support him than it does about him. Because Donald Trump has revealed who he is his entire career. But it was the American voters who chose to elect him, and it's the Republican Party that has chosen to stick by him, that has chosen to elevate him, that has chosen to cravenly stay silent when they know good and hell damn well he is a chronic misogynist and sexual abuser. Let's not forget, this is the same guy who sexualized his own daughter, who said that how voluptuous she was and let Howard Stern call her a hot piece of ass. This is the same guy that Michael Cohen wrote about in his book, who said that Michael Cohen's daughter, quote, was a hot piece of ass. And then when he found out it was Michael Cohen's daughter, by the way, she was 15, he said, oh, I'll be dating some of your friends in a couple of years. This is the same guy who bragged about walking through beauty pageants in the back when women were getting changed, in the Miss Teen USA pageants and the pageants that he ran when he ran Miss USA. I mean, Donald Trump has consistently been a lowlife when it comes to women, and yet the Republican Party has no problem with it. Instead, to Katie's point, they attack the judicial system. There is something incredibly wrong with this. Senator Marco Rubio today, or yesterday in reaction, said that this was a joke. He called the jury and the verdict a joke. Tommy Tuberville of Alabama, the senator there, he said that it makes him want to vote for Donald Trump twice. What are we doing? This is today's Republican Party. They seem to be okay with this, and they wonder why they're losing suburban voters.
It is very interesting. And these are the same people, to stay with you for a moment, Tara, who, wanted Bill Clinton in the docks back in the day, right? They thought Bill Clinton, and they never thought that those charges were too old. They never thought anything that was said about Bill Clinton and women was too old. They were like, bring it on, put him in jail. But he never got adjudicated
was one of the lead prosecutors. Lindsey Graham, of all people, was one of the lead prosecutors during the Clinton administration, during the Clinton impeachment. And look at him now. He's a barnacle on the ass of Donald Trump, who is a hypocrite and a shell of himself. It's embarrassing.
I have to ask you this, Katie, just as a juror, because look, Marco Rubio is actually a lawyer. And so for people,
a lot of them are
lawyers.
A lot of them are former prosecutors. Let me be clear. They're not just lawyers. A lot of the members of Congress, senators and representatives, they are former prosecutors. They know what the burden of proof is for a crime. They certainly know what the burden of proof is for a civil offense. And, they don't have a problem, again, finding that the scales of justice only tip a certain way.
Yeah.
Only if it fits what they want. My concern here is the following, and to Tara's very well-articulated point, this wasn't a criminal case, right?
Right.
I still think they would say it was a hoax or some type of witch hunt or whatever, they being GOP. Let's talk about moving forward, right? So E. Jean Carroll got her day in court. She gets her name back. She gets to regain control. But this is for something that happened to her decades ago, right? And this is a civil case, and the statute of limitations ran, and that's the reason why she was only able to do this civilly. But with her win today, with her bravery and with her courage, what hopefully is going to happen is, as she said, more women come forward when it is within the statute of limitations, when somebody who's a lech and a pervert and a horrible sexual abuser like Donald Trump actually does go to a criminal trial, is found guilty, goes to prison, right, where he literally cannot run from prison, right? That's what you kind of hope is going to be the turning point here, the looking forward part. We look back and we say, what can we second guess and judge people for, especially women as rape victims? And E. Jean said, we changed that narrative. We changed that definition of what the perfect rape victim is. We destroyed that complete fallacy of who that woman is. But let's move forward with this, and let's give women the strength and the space to say there is a process where I can find justice. And maybe people like Donald Trump actually go to jail for it.
God bless her as a woman of her generation for standing up. And she's even said she loves the fact that she, as a 70-plus-year-old woman, is the one who got her.
79 years old.
God bless her.